So if you have questions about the speaking part of the exam, I will try to answer them. I will concentrate on a few common mistakes. Hopefully you will not make them, and that might improve your grade, okay? My intention is just to help you in a small way with your IELTS ambition, okay? Who is going to take the test soon? Who is not interested in IELTS? Anybody? Are you all going to take the test? Did anyone take the test already? Will you take it again? Wanting some help, right? To improve their speaking score. Is that right? What score is good for you? Okay. 9 is it's only for me, okay? Only for me. You 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. It's possible to get 1 if you just stay completely silent. If you know your name and you can show your passport, you can get 2. 3 you can get by saying something. Maybe every minute you say something. 4, you are not usually understanding the questions, and you make lots of mistakes, and you're not ready for the test. If you get 4, it means you are not ready for the test. Then you start learning IELTS, right? IELTS is to test your progress in English language. So most people in Uzbekistan are getting between 4.5 and 6.5 in IELTS, right? Most people. We have some 7, some brilliant 8s, a few 7.5s. But most people, the examiner, I think the examiner's work is usually choosing between 5 and 6, unfortunately. Okay? So let's just have a look at these first 5. If anyone saw, like I did a talk before, I've said this before, but the same mistakes are being made in the test. These are the 5 most common mistakes. What is the problem? I feel myself happy today. Is there a grammar problem there? What's the problem? Okay, know myself. In English, you just feel, you don't feel yourself. Okay? Number 3, in order to. This is overused. Usually, you just need to say to. I came here to give a talk. I came here in order to give a talk. No. Okay? Number 4, if my memory doesn't fail me. This is good English, but Uzbeks overuse this language. For example, when did you last visit your grandmother? Huh? Anybody? Did anybody visit their grandmother recently? Oh, okay, the ones who are alive, please. Yeah. Well, you can visit the grave, that's a good thing to do. So, in English, we would say, this is later in the thing, I'll leave it. And number 5, how do you pronounce this word? Huh? How many syllables? 1 syllable. Clothes. Can you repeat after me? Clothes. There you go. There's the 5 most made mistakes in Uzbekistan. Thank you very much. Sometimes this word would, people don't respond to the word would. Would means you have to use your imagination, right? So please ask, you have a partner next to you, yeah? You are in rows of 4. Work together with your partner. Answer these 3 questions, please. Number 1, would you be happy if you were a dentist? Okay, tell your partner, You can read them and practice your English now, okay? Okay, together, you are working. I am going to be quiet. You answer the 3 questions together, okay? Starting now. Together, yeah? Together. Yes. Why?
Yeah, this way, I mean, this professional, because in this environment, I'm being the environment of the doctors, I mean, or hospitals, like it's horrible, and it makes me like uncomfortable.
Yeah. Not all of them? You don't? No, no, of course not.
Money is not the priority.
Why is that? Yes. So what is there beyond money?
Being able to, let's say, to go abroad and to see the question you gave, like in Turkey, what's preferable like? I could say that in Turkey there are a lot of places, sightseeings, and good environment. Like we can go there and have a rest.
In English, this means lie down and sleep, not go to the mountains. Yeah, life is interesting, like beyond money, right? Is money everything? This is the 21st century, huh? Everybody seems to think money is the whole universe. I hope not. I don't understand why people are interested in billionaires anyway. Why? It's just money, huh?
Yeah.
Definitely not. Probably it would corrupt my soul, firstly. But if my soul could deal with it, there would be a lot of responsibility suddenly. And it would change my nice, easy friendships, relationships I have. That would all change. And probably my brain would work overtime in how to use my responsibility. Anyway, why do I mention this? Because wood is an opportunity to imagine something different, right? But in the speaking test, people often don't notice this word. And they say something about their life. Would you be happy if you were a dentist? No, I am a student, and I want to be an accountant. Okay, so listen for this word, would, and you can practice this. In grammar, you have conditionals, right? Yeah. When you do the speaking test, your conditionals should be ready. Your grammar should be ready. If you can use this successfully, probably you are band 6. Okay? You are already band 6 because your grammar is prepared. Conditionals. This is like a hint. You know, to be ready for band score 6, you need your grammar to be solid. When you tell a story about the past, you are using past tenses, right? Past continuous, past simple. Naturally, yeah? This is important. This is a common mistake. It was happened. Is this translation from your language? Okay, that's just a strange thing that people say. The real English is, it happened. Can we go up? This is just some things I wrote down when I was having coffee this morning. So, yes, band score 4. In Uzbekistan, have nice weather. In Uzbekistan, have lots of mosques. In Uzbekistan, have new shopping center, tall buildings. Okay, let's take this example, yeah? Beyond any shadow of a doubt. Beyond any shadow of a doubt, I had breakfast this morning. Uzbekistan is a corrupt country. I didn't say that. Beyond any shadow of a doubt, Uzbeks love money. You have to use it in the right context, right? Yeah. I should be careful what I say. Huh? Yeah. Next one. You say this a lot in Russian, is it? Is it a Russian thing? Uzbek, yeah? Okay. In English we say it, but not very often. So in English we say things like when did you okay, question. When did you last go to a football match? Anybody? Anybody remember? When did you last go to a football match? Or when did you last watch sport on TV? Okay. So people say, without any shadow of a doubt, or if my memory doesn't fail me, it was 3 weeks ago. But in English we would say, I think it was about, or it must have been 2 years ago now. This is natural English, right? This one is natural. Overused translation English. So many people are getting a 6 because they are translating from their language into English, right? And to go up to a 7, you have to be using more natural, more native ways of speaking. Understand? So this language would get you a 7, for example, for one sentence, yeah? This would get you a 7, but this would probably get you a 6. This is the kind of small differences, right? In your learning. Yeah. So what is the key to reaching higher levels is real materials. Watching things in English, reading in English, watching videos in English for a long time, and then naturally your English will become more native. But if you are translating from your language into English, this will keep you on 5, 6 level. Okay? Yeah. Okay, mood. For example, this is a good example. The word mood. Can you tell your partners how to use the word mood? Can you give some examples of mood in English? Do you know this word? Can you give each other some examples? Mood. How do you use it in English? Maybe you say raise my mood or increase my mood. So in English we can say these things. For example, improves my mood. If I play football, it improves my mood. Cheers me up. If I spend time with my friends, that really cheers me up. Going to the mountains for a picnic, it puts me in a good mood. This is very nice English, like level 8. Puts me in a good mood. Raises my spirits. Or the best one here, makes me feel better. Spending time with my friends makes me feel better, right? So this is the difference between level 6 kind of language and 7 or even 8 kind of language. But the same idea, right? Talking about mood. This is just an example. But this is like a rule for 6s and 7s, okay? Here are some very common pronunciation problems. Can you pronounce these words with your partner, please? Okay, for some people this is easy, right? So these are all, the contraction at the end is very important pronunciation. Can be the difference between a 5 and a 6. Friend is, me and my friend is, we went to the mountains at the weekend, right? Parentes, no, parents. So, z, xt, ts, z. Yeah, short at the end. This is I know this is like Uzbek habit, right? Yeah, so this is one to work on before your test. Because even people, good language, level 7, right? Band score 7, they are making these mistakes. Maybe pronunciation will drop by 1 just because of these. And the final mark for speaking would be 6.5 instead of 7. Small details, just to try to get that extra 0.5 that maybe you need, right? So silent letters are a problem with English language, as we know. Yes. This word here, how do you say it? Which letter is silent? The L, walk. So we have sometimes a problem with walk and work. But it's not walk, it's walk. And can you say those words to your partner, please? Those 3 words. Whoops. Thanks, Akmal. Down a bit. Yes. Which is the first one here? Yeah, this is bachelor, not bachelor. Bachelor's degree. Next one. Character, not character. Next one. How many people get this word wrong? I don't know. A lot of people. Technology, not technology. Huh? This is, are you listening to real English or are you just reading from the book? This is the difference, 4, 5, 6. This word is a strange one. Q, mother tongue you, picturesque, mosque. No, this is silent. This is French words. Esque, osque, g. Mother tongue, picturesque, mosque. The next 3. The next 4 words, can you pronounce those with your friend? Police. You say police, huh? Yeah. I say police when I'm trying to say police. Yeah. Volunteer for these 4 words?
Police. I want exam.
That's 2 different words.
Which word? Event. Exam.
Ajaib.
Event, exam, police, hotel.
Nearly. Yeah, who wants to try? I want 100% record here. Hotel, yeah. So these are second syllable. There are more of these words. There are lots of these words in English that are mispronounced. Event. Repeat after me, please. Event. Exam. Examiner. Police. Hotel. Yeah, so it's second syllable, right? This one.
Comfortable.
Yeah, not comfortable, but comfortable, like vegetable, right? Vegetable, comfortable. What's this? Funny answers. Sometimes we smile. You don't know why we are smiling, you know? But sometimes we get funny pictures in our heads, you know? Funny pictures. Yeah, it could be anything, you know. You think the examiner is just maybe a bit crazy, you know. Probably you're right. No. Kebab is a good word. We use that word. Yeah, you can't say like, my favorite food is osh and shashlik. Because, you know, maybe, I understand, right? Because I also love osh and shashlik now, you know. But other people, they don't know what you're talking about, okay? You have to be careful. What other words?
When we say when you have to be careful, when you're translating, imagine that someone who is not from Uzbekistan listening for your conversation, and he doesn't understand the word you are talking about.
Yeah.
So be careful with translating all the words. If you want to explain, give the explanation.
Yeah.
For example, if you say I live in Qarshi, we don't have person from not Uzbekistan doesn't have any.
To be honest, that's okay. But But this is funny because the question is, are there many trees where you live? And the answer is Karshi. You understand? Right, these are Russian words, I think, that are different in English. Can you tell your partner what these 4 words mean, please? Tell your partner, what do they mean? Who said that? Someone with a mask on is speaking to me. I don't know who it is. Huh? Okay, this one. Yeah, what do you mean by mad? Angry. Okay, this is the main thing. You are like this. Yeah. You say excited, right? In English, excited is like a good feeling, like it's the Champions League final. In half an hour, I feel excited. But in English, we use nervous, like in the speaking exam. Like your stomach, butterflies in your stomach, This is nervous, but it does not mean angry in English, okay? I'm trying to communicate to all the yoshla of Uzbekistan. Yeah. Fabric, what does this mean in English? Is it an industrial place where they mass produce things? No. What is that in English? What is that in English? A factory. Yeah, factory. But fabric in English is... It's like material, like cloth. Yeah, this is fabric. A magazine is not a shop. It's a shop in Russian. Uh-huh. It's a French shop, actually. It's from French. But in English, it's publication, journal, newspaper with photographs, right? Yeah. Magazine. And a market is what? Is it the small shop near your house? No. What is it in English? Yeah, it's the bazaar. Like Chorsu is a market, yeah? Yeah. So it's an open air place. So some people are misanswering questions, like even part 2 questions, because they don't understand the difference of the 2 words. You understand? This is a very common mistake, of course. In the party of my friend, what is that in English? Thank you. In my friend's party. Yeah. This is a very common mistake. Okay, here's an example. Lots of people were saying plethora, which we never use in English. Some people were saying myriad, which is a nice word, but usually you find it in books, not in conversation. So here are some different ways you can say this in nice, idiomatic, band score 7 English. Okay? Can you give me more? Stop. So those are 5 options for how to say there are a lot of. Can you repeat them with your partner? Just read them with your partner, please. Okay, those are just small points to maybe help you. Now it's time for you to ask a few questions about anything to do with the Ielts or the speaking test or anything else. You can ask anything you like, actually.
Can I go first?
Yeah.
What the examiners expect from the candidates who want to score 9 in the pronunciation?
Okay, I think most people are wasting energy. It matters to get what you want, right? To go to a university, to enter the university, to get the job, what is it? Wasita, is it?
Yeah.
Wasita, yeah. So it's a means to get what you need, right? But it's not an ego attachment, if I get a 9, I am a fantastic person, right? So for me, if you get 8 as a foreigner, if you get an 8, you have really reached a very successful score. That is, you can aim for 8. If you got 8, fantastic. You made it. Living in a kind of English successfully, like in English as well as native language, right?
No, actually I was speaking on the behalf of soon-to-be IELTS teachers. That
Okay.
is why I asked it.
So if you got 8, you can be a really good IELTS teacher. If you're asking me, that's my answer.
Can I take it as a no? No 9 in the pronunciation?
Listen, it's possible to get 9 if you spend years learning in English and working in English. After 5 years, maybe you will get 9. But the difference between 8 and 9 is like small things,
Yeah, we would like to know that.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a native turn of phrase.
Like joining sounds together or something.
No,
like
a turn of phrase means like the collocation of language in a natural native way. The way that native people will do it without thinking.
Thank you so much.
It's the without thinking. That's
it.
Like 8 is really like working to that point. 9 is like automatic. You're thinking. Maybe you are dreaming in English in the nighttime.
Yeah.
Huh? This is like 9. Yeah.
Let's imagine there are 2 students and their level is quite high.
Yeah.
And one student, let's say, got 8.5 and
Yeah.
another one got 9. So what kind of factors do you take into account when you're assessing those 2 students? I mean, why
Okay.
that student is 8.5, why that student is 9?
You can, one day, you can make no mistakes in your 14 minutes. And the next day, you will make 2 mistakes, right? And that will bring your score down to an 8.5. Or you can talk about your favorite subject that you love talking about. And the other one, it's maybe difficult for you to... There are some questions I would not like to answer very much because it's not what I'm interested in, right? But other ones, I will talk for like 50 minutes because I love it, right? So there's that. The difference between 8 and 9 is often making mistakes. It's like maybe 2 grammar mistakes, right? So that's grammar. Pronunciation, one will sound very natural. Like I'm not sure if they spent 5 years in, maybe they're native speaker. Huh? The other one sounds like they were trying to get 9 for 3 years from learning in a language school. Small things.
So that means, for example, let's say I haven't lived abroad,
Yeah.
but I'm still speaking fluently. Let's say I got 8 already, and
Yeah.
I want that 9.
Really? Why?
Just because I want to become an English teacher.
You can't get a job with 8?
No, it doesn't matter. I mean, if you got 8, it doesn't really mean that you should stop. What if
True.
you...
But so at that point, once you have 8, my perspective is you should be learning and teaching and for the sake of learning, right? Just for the sake of educating yourself. Education is not to get a score, it's to broaden your ideas, broaden your insight into real things in life, right? The small things in language is not so important as what you have to say. As what is important is what is in your heart, That's what's important. And, and what is in your mind. And can you translate that out? If you make a small mistake in your grammar, to me, as a human being, that's not important.
Yeah.
Does that not answer your question successfully?
Yeah, you did. I mean, sometimes, in Uzbekistan here, some students may have some policy, let's say. They are taking the course with a teacher who got, let's say, band 9 in the speaking section, right? And they are so excited and they say, wow, she can teach me very well. But if they see a teacher who got 8, let's say, in the speaking portion, they say, oh, just 8, let's go for the 9 teacher.
Let's make an official announcement to the Yoshla of Uzbekistan that if your teacher got 8 in Ielts, their English is fantastic. I don't know about their teaching skills, but their English is good enough to be an excellent teacher for you. Mm-hmm. And there's not that much difference between an 8 and a 9.
Yeah.
Is that helpful?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
I know the IELTS is very popular in Uzbekistan, and at the moment, qualification of the English teachers is based on the IELTS score they got. But it's not the true. It's not the right, to be honest. Because knowing the language and teaching the language is two different things. I might have a good English, but I might be the rubbish teacher. So, seriously, because the teaching is the ability. It's something different. Language is the ability and it's something different. So you have to distinguish two things. And for the person who got the 8 or 7.5, 7, 7.5 or 8, I'll tell you one thing. If you want to pursue the career, teaching career, you need to think about the teaching qualification, teaching knowledge. Like we offer in our center, like a CELTA, like TKT, or degrees in the teaching. That makes the difference. So remember, having the IELTS 9 doesn't mean you are a great teacher. It just means that you have an excellent English language. That's it. And coming from this point, I'll tell you one thing. Why are you taking the IELTS? Why do you want to take IELTS? Raise your hand. Why? Example? You? Yeah. Master's degree. Okay. What else? Master's degree. So basically, we're talking about you want to get the IELTS because you want to study in English, isn't it? So why do people take the IELTS test? They want to prove the language their language level, and they want to get education in English, or they want to work in a foreign company, isn't it? Or they want to move to another country where the English is the main language and live there. So your aim is actually studying. Your aim is actually working. Your aim is basically communication in English, getting the information in English. So, I'll tell you one thing. In order to study in English, for bachelor's degree, 6 is enough. I know that most of the university, they start from the 5.5, but remember 5.5, it's for foundation year, basically. They're still thinking that you're going to study and improve your English before you start the bachelor's degree. But if you want to start the bachelor's degree at the foreign university straight away, they're expecting that you're going to have a level 6. And some specialization, they might require 6.5. And for master's degree, 6.5, 7, and 7.5, depending what kind of specialization you're choosing. For example, I believe if you want to study marketing, business management, accountancy, finance, I guess for master's degree, 6.5 and 7 is more than enough. Of course, if you want to study engineers or medicine, it's different. They require higher level of English, 7.5. So beyond that, when we're talking about the 8, when we're talking about 8.5 and 9, we're talking about the native speakers who has been living in that country in the English language environment, and basically who is going to dedicate their life to English language itself. It's about the professionals in the English language. So 9, you need it if you want to become an IELTS examiner, basically, for non-native speakers. For scholarship, I'll tell you, for scholarship, 7.5 will be enough to get the 100% scholarship in the top university. I'll tell you, if you're having the 8, it's good. But for scholarship, if you want to get the full scholarship at the top universities, 7.5 is enough. Even 7 is enough. Because the thing is, the English criteria, language ability itself is just one of the criteria. It's not the only criteria, it's one of the criteria. For example, there is like a minimum requirement in order to be able to apply for the university scholarships at the top university. One of them is a language ability, let's say 7.5. Second one is a GBP. It's basically your scores from the school. It should be high enough. It's not like a 3 or 4. We're talking about 5s. And we're talking about there is another test which called SAT. So these 3 is the minimum requirements in order to be able to apply to the scholarship. But it doesn't guarantee that you're going to get the scholarship. It's just to help you to get into the. So you need to show the other things as well in order to get the scholarships as well. So IELTS itself doesn't give you the. It just gives you the opportunity to apply for, but doesn't guarantee that you're gonna get that score.
Well, my question is a bit strange about related to part 2. So what if I have a special structure to start my part 2? For example, if I was asked to answer a question about, for example, a puzzle which I solved. So
For example, yeah.
yeah, can I start to talk about the importance of puzzle, of how they affect my well-being, my mental health, and after that go to the topic, like to talk about a puzzle which I solved?
Most people in Uzbekistan have an automatic first sentence to answer part 2, right?
Yeah.
For example, there are a lot of difficult puzzles that we can try to solve. But I am going to talk about a puzzle that I tried to solve.
No, I don't mean this,
For example,
this way.
So you are saying this, yes, you prepared a nice opening sentence. The question, the difference is if the sentence is really contextual. But many people will automatically say a line which doesn't really fit with the next part.
Like, I'm not talking about prepared like sentence. Like I'm talking about the importance of puzzle, like talking about how they affect.
But you are making a general statement about puzzles before you start talking about your experience, right? So this is a common policy, and it's a question of your quality. How well does it link with what you are going to say next? That's the important thing.
Got it.
And be a teacher in a center, and then have the capacity to grade other people who may be in the same shoes as you, right? You have to have the adequate life experience, like spending time abroad, studying abroad, being really like immersed in English language. So, for example, you meet someone who's from India who has spoken English since they were, a baby. And they speak like in their way, in English. Like, do you have enough experience, life experience in English, in the English world, to then have the ability to grade that person's English, right? You have to think like globally. It's something you can't fake. You have to have a lot of exposure to the English language in lots of different contexts. And you also have to have a high, like, educational, caliber.
When we're talking about, in our other presentation, we talk about generally. So the things you're talking about, basically, when you come to the IELTS speaking test, it's not about the performance. It's about the communication. It's a dialogue between two persons. So when you try to use these kind of complicated words, sometimes it sounds unnatural. Sounds like you already prepared it. Something. It's not wrong. Yeah. It's not natural. Whereas in the speaking test, I guess it's more important to be natural. Right.
Okay. Another question. And when our band 8 and 9 candidates asked it and you didn't answer, how to get, increase the 9, it should be natural, you said, right? You should leave
there is no, technique for getting from 8 to 9. Yeah. It's like the amount of exposure you have to the English language. Like, how much have you read? How broad is your vocabulary?
But I understand. I'm not going to combat with this. Yeah. My question is regarding from 6 until 8. Okay. When we get prepared to the IELTS exam, we discussed everything. We learned all. We were in a one environment, but some candidates took 6.5, some of them 7, and some of them 7.5. And my question here is, they learned everything in one environment, they learned from one book, read, right? Or something else. My question is, you explained now only pronunciation and some usage of words, but do the examiners have some like does the examiners have some like criteria or things that first like maybe usage of words, complicated structures, or like some people say like if you speak naturally, if it's simple, like you may get 7. But I want to hear the real, let's say, scenario of this.
So we have criteria, written criteria that we have to match. The examiner must be very scientific in looking at each of the 4 categories and whether it reaches that description or not. So, for example, 7, it's fluent. It uses idiomatic language, right? The grammar is mostly correct. The pronunciation is clear and natural. There may be a mistake. Okay, if the candidate reaches for all 4 categories, they will get a 7. And in theory, every examiner will give a 7 for that candidate. When you have a class of people who learn together, as we all know, people in classes, they have different abilities, right? Different ability to reach what the teacher has taught them. Whether they can learn it 100%. Some students, they go home and learn 200%, right? Other students, they are dreaming. They will you get 40% of what the teacher gives them, right? So, you know, maybe someone is unlucky. They drop a mark in one section. They end up with 6.5. But with the 4 scores, you know, reading, listening, grammar, pronunciation, it should even out. It should be a really fair reflection of their English ability. You know, IELTS examiners, we only have this one thing. We want to be fair to everybody, to give the right, you know, reward for what they have learned. And, you know, it's the same for everybody.
So you can go to the website and check these 4 criteria. It's very important when you understand them. So that will give you the much more understanding what's really examiners or IELTS expecting from you, from your performance, from your test. More questions?
When the deal comes to the real IELTS speaking examination, you are facing with the trouble of lack of ideas. You're kind of stuck when examiner asks you a particular question. You just don't know what to say, even though you are prepared for that. That's my question.
So sometimes you have to kind of be an actor. You have to try to say something like you know, you don't really know what you're saying, but you have to speak because maybe you can give 3 grammatical sentences explaining that you don't really know what the question is, right? If you use 3 grammatical sentences, you will get your marks for grammar, pronunciation, fluency. Maybe vocabulary is not enough, right? But because you just tried to keep talking, you made sense, you will get marks in the other areas. So you have to try to think on your feet. There's a nice idiom for you.
Hammaga rahmat kattakon bugun kelganingizga, savollar uchun ham, qatnashganlik uchun ham. Bilaman, IELTSda savollar juda ham ko'p. Ular hech qachon tugamaydi. Har xil turlari ham ko'p bo'ladi. Agar qo'shimcha savollaringiz bo'lsa, ko'proq narsa o'rganmoqchiman deydigan bo'lsangiz, bemalol ofisimizga kelinglar, suhbatlashamiz, gaplashamiz, qo'ldan kelgancha ma'lumot berishga harakat qilamiz. Lekin hozirgi kunda shu narsani aytishim kerakki, self study uchun, ya'ni texnologiyalar to'g'risida hozir ko'p gaplashdik-ku, internetda juda ham kerakli ma'lumotlar juda ham ko'p. ielts.org da ham, exams.uz bizning veb-saytimizda ham, umuman Facebook sahifalarimizda ham mana shu berayotgan savollarga hammasiga pashti javoblar bor. Mabodo agar tushunmaydigan bo'lsangiz, o'sha o'qigan narsalarni aytinglar, biz qo'ldan kelgancha yordam berishga harakat qilamiz. Sog' bo'linglar hammaga.